It's the Digital Board Gamer here with our weekend review for July 27th to the 2nd of August. This was our first couple days in the summer of games, so there's lots of games to go over, so let's get started. First with our one big update. Just One has added 550 new words and from the latest Just One edition, which is both French and English words. Plus you have an option to choose whether you play with the cultural reference words as well. Cool update, great game if you've never played it. And now for our beta games. First we have the 9 Sons of the Dragon. This is a dice placement game, but you're actually not rolling the dice, you're just moving them around using the pips as some sort of a value. So in this game you're going to be adding dice to these cards. You have to get 3 dice all stacked up to score a card. The pips are the strength of the dice. You do not roll them or change them in any way. And when you stack dice, you have to go from lower to higher. And then if you're able to get 3 dice on a card, you can claim it. The movement works like Mancala style, so 1 dice can move 1 space. If you have 2 dice stacked up in one spot, you move, you leave a dice, and then you move 1 more spot, and then so on. So overall, it's a really pretty light game, but had some interesting aspects with some of the cards, so check it out. Then we have Yinish, a very popular abstract strategy game. This one's been around for quite a while. On BGG, you see it's ranked 247th and actually the 3rd highest abstract game. So it's rated pretty well. It is a 2-player only game, plays fairly quick, and it's fairly simple. Here, trying to score 3 of your rings. The way you score is once all your big rings are down, you'll be adding these little inner circles inside a ring. You see here it can move any of these spaces, but another ring stops its position. What you can start doing is add circles of your color, and once you get 5 in a row, you can score it. The interesting or fun part about it is if I was to put one here, this circle white would flip over to black. So you can see how you can start, trying to manipulate it. You can move as far as you want until you hit another ring. So you can move quite a bit, flip it quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. Then we had Tennessee Central, a train game that can actually play with a regular deck of cards if you had a few extra jokers. This one here, you're going to be adding cards to each suit or drawing more cards. And basically there's 3 scoring cards. They're trains in this pile. And when one is drawn, you're going to score one of your 3 face cards. When you score your face cards, it's equal to the value here. Either the highest card on here is what it's worth, or if you put the train on that pile, however many cards is in that pile is how much it's worth. Then you and your opponent will exchange these face cards, and then you go through again, score another, exchange, score another, and then you're done. So if you like that kind of simple, this can literally be played with a deck of cards, check it out. Then we had Kani, Nari, an abstract strategy game where you're going to be trying to isolate your opponents and remove their pieces from the board. In this game here, you're going to be trying to surround your opponent's characters to get them removed off the board, or you're going to be trying to move your pieces to your opponent's side, which will kind of king them, turn them into shrimp, and then if you get 3 of those, you win as well. And this is what I'm talking about here with the kinging. So now this character is a shrimp and can move slightly different. These characters move left to right. This one moves 1 diagonal. There, this piece was surrounded by these 2 of the same pieces, touching by 2 of the same pieces. Therefore, it gets removed. You can win 3 different ways, getting 3 upgrades into those little shrimp, capturing 3 of your pieces, or having no moves for your opponent. And then we have Savanna Ten. This is the 4-player version. I actually missed this one, and I didn't get a chance to play it yet. But I assume it's going to play very similar. You want to try to get your characters over to a side, upgrade them. Both of these games had very little English information on them, so I struggled learning them and then finding information. But if you like the other one, you want to check this one out. Then we have Arigato, a drafting combo style game. This one's here is played over rounds up here. Each round has a certain goal you want to try to meet. In a round, you will take 1 person, add them into your little city here. You will then take 2 characters, you'll put them here. These characters pretty much get discarded and you get the resources on the top right. And the other 2 are passed to another player. And that's pretty much it. Once you get the resources that a character needs, they're on the left. You can move them to your little gate here. You don't always want to move them instantly. Sometimes you want to wait because certain goals, like this one here, says if you have 2 characters, that little offering token means you got all their resources on them, then you could score that goal. And here, if you can complete all 10 goals, you get 55 points. The other points in the game are listed on the cards. They're on the top left. Those are the points for the game. Overall, this one's pretty interesting. I had a lot of fun with this one. It's one you should definitely check out if you like drafting. Then we have 15 Days in France, a card collection style game. So on your turn, you're going to be able to take encounter cards on the top, or you can take a card here if you have the step requirements there on the top right. Little icons on the top. Those icons are used for these little goals here. And then some cards like this more expensive one that takes 5 steps also gives you some smileys as well. And then after 15 days, the game is over, and then you score points based on if your goals met the requirements or not, if you have the icons, and so on. There's not a whole lot of information on this one. There's some very basic rules in here, but go ahead and check that one out. Then we had Imperial Settlers. Now this game here I actually haven't finished playing yet, my playthrough, but I own it physically, so I've played it quite a bit. This game here is an engine building style game. You'll get some cards. You're going to be placing other cards down. Some will give you production, like this guy here. Some cards will score you points, like this one here is more of a point scorer. And then the ones down below on actions are more things where you spend either resources or people or whatever to get points or more resources, etc. Be careful, you can only score a certain resource based on your race that you picked. So here the Japanese can store food, whereas the barbarians can store people tokens. And then it's just a race, and after 5 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. This one's a lot of fun. This one I'm sure I'll be playing quite a bit. Because of the Summer Game Fest, we actually had an extra full release this week. But first we have Revive, a game where you're going to be rebuilding. Now this game is over here when all these skulls are gone. So this game, what you're basically doing is you have this player board here. The cool aspect comes in where these cards will be sliding on the top or the bottom. And then depending on what side you use is what actions you get. So if you slide on the top, you get those resources, where if you do the bottom part, you can move an extra spot on this track. This track is a cool part of the game. Your piece here will move along it, and as you move past these circle parts, the spots become active where you can spend energy to activate them. Then you're going to be slowly moving out on this board, building these little pieces here, activating more steps on those tracks, trying to extend to these big score pieces in the corner. So this one definitely has a lot more than most of the board games on BGA. So if you like a little heavier, thinkier game, check it out. Then we had Beer and Bread, a 2-player only resource management game. So in this game here, you'll be playing a certain number of rounds right here, but you're going to be either building bread or beer. You're going to be getting resources that go on your little hut here, and then spending the resources here to build them. So the coolest part of this game is actually the scoring. So you see bread here 7, that give you 7 bread points. Whereas if I built, well, he doesn't have any alcohol, but the alcohol cards also have points, and you score the lowest of the 2. So you have to diversify yourself and build bread and beer, and then whatever the 2 at the end of the game you score, the lowest of those 2. There's some cool upgrade actions that you do. I like how when you add cards in the green phase, in the bounty phase, this green phase here, when you add cards down here for resources, those are actually the cards that you'll draw up. So you can kind of plan ahead a little bit. So if you like a more thinkier 2-player game, check this one out. Then we had Twinkle Twinkle, a really simple tile placement game. This one here, whoever's first in this position will take one of these tiles, and then you put it down here in your space area. And then if you look here, each little tile you take has a special scoring. So all the special ones all have a scoring, and then constellations or the stars has some scoring there. And then it's pretty simple. You just take, and then whatever piece doesn't get taken slides all the way down, and then these green ones slide up, and then so on. So it's kind of cool, kind of a little puzzle, but a little bit of fun drafting in there as well. Then lastly, Cario Corridor, a very simple tile placement game. Now this one says it can be 3 minutes, and it can literally be 3 minutes. You're both going to be placing tiles on the board one after another. I'm going to speed through the game here. But what you're going to be trying to do is create a corridor that touches the left, top, right, and bottom side. So as you place your pieces, it'll make this yellow whitish corridor appear, and then once that corridor has been completed and then completely surrounded, the game will then end, and then you score points based on your pieces next to the corridor. So here, all the black all scored all those, I scored all the reds, and so on. It's a real simple game. Kind of a little bit weird to explain, but if that visual pictures here helps, once you play it once, you'll understand it, and it's really simple. For my pick of the week, I'm pick Arigato. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm a sucker for drafting games. This one feels so good. The characters each having different abilities to look out for. Oh, if I get a couple, I think they're blacksmiths, they're called. Some blacksmiths, if you discard other blacksmiths, give you bonus resources. And it's just a lot of fun trying to find those little combos and following the goals at the top. It really gives you a strategy, and you need to be going for those. So it's cool to look at those a couple turns ahead and go, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. And then when you get all your characters, none of that matches, and it all goes out the window. Well, I've been the Digital Board Gamer. I am going to be covering every summer game, so it's going to be a busy month for me. One game a day. Luckily, a lot of these games that get released on our non-Monday, Wednesday, Friday tend to be simpler, easier games I can explain. But look out for a new video from me every day this month. Well, as always, good luck and have fun.